On an ordinary street in an ordinary neighborhood, there's a house that many people describe as unusual. Not because it's beautiful, old, or haunted, but because of the person who lives inside. Longtime neighbors say that, for as long as they can remember, they've always seen the same woman walking around, always with the same calm posture, always with the same soft expression on her face, and most importantly, always with the same age. Today, I'm going to tell you her story. The woman who, according to many residents, hasn't aged a single day in more than 3 decades. Whether this is true or not, that's for you to decide. Her name is Eleanor. She was never the talkative type. She didn't socialize, didn't join neighborhood gatherings, didn't go to cafes or local events. But you'd always see her walking through the park early in the morning. Some of the oldest residents say they remember her like this since the late 1980s. Long dark hair, a serene face, and that appearance many described as far too young for someone who'd lived there so long. When a new neighbor moved in, she was always the first to give a slight nod. Polite, but distant. At first, no one noticed anything strange. In a quiet neighborhood, people don't usually pay attention to details. But as the years went by, some began to notice something odd. One family mentioned she looked good for her age. Another said she never seemed to change at all. And a third, more observant one, kept an old photo where she appeared in the background. A photo dated 1994. When they compared it to a recent one, there was absolutely no difference. No wrinkles, no change in weight, nothing. It was only in the early 2000s, when digital cameras became common, that the mystery grew stronger. People began taking more pictures. Some by accident, some at street festivals, others captured unintentionally while photographing the neighborhood. And the more photos appeared, the stranger everything became. A longtime resident said that while looking through her old albums, she was shocked. She found a picture of the woman from 2001 and realized her appearance was identical to another photo taken in 2015. Same hair, same smile, same youthful look. It was as if time simply didn't touch her. Despite living there for so many years, no one knows much about her. No one knows where she works, whether she has a family, whether she was born there, or if she just appeared one day. When people ask her age, she just smiles, that same gentle smile, and changes the subject. A neighbor said he once tried making small talk about the past. He asked normal things like, "Do you remember what the neighborhood was like in the 90s?" She only replied, "The trees were smaller." But she never talked about her own life, never mentioned childhood, parents, school, nothing. It was as if she had no past, or as if she was hiding it. The strangest event involving her happened on a quiet afternoon. Some residents said they saw her walking down the street holding hands with a child, a small, smiling girl who seemed completely comfortable beside her. For a moment, many thought she had finally started a family. Maybe she had adopted someone, or a distant relative was visiting. But the strangest part wasn't the appearance of the child. It was the disappearance. The next day, no one saw the girl again. No different cars at the house, no visitors, no sounds, nothing. And to this day, no one knows who that child was. The house she lives in is also a topic of conversation. Not because it's old, but because it seems not to age, just like her. The paint never fades. The door's always the same. The plants in the garden are always well kept, but never overgrown. As if everything there is frozen in some kind of perfect balance. Some neighbors swear the house looks exactly the same as it did in the 90s. No renovations, no repairs, no changes. One resident once mentioned how strange it was that even after a severe storm, her house looked untouched. Today, more than 30 years later, anyone walking down that street still sees the same figure. Neatly kept dark hair, calm expression, light footsteps, and that same look, as if she's watching something no one else can see. Some neighbors avoid speaking to her. Others say she's kind, but distant, and a few admit feeling a certain discomfort. After all, how do you explain someone who simply doesn't age? Coincidence? Genetics? A secret? Or something much greater than that? But after all, who was this woman? Here are some of the most discussed theories. 1. Extreme genetic mutation. Could explain abnormal cell regeneration. 2. Time travel. Reports of her appearing in different countries with no travel records fuel this theory. 3. Someone from another reality. Her strange language patterns and unusual behavior strengthen this possibility. But in the end, the truth was never revealed. The woman who never ages may have been a one-of-a-kind case. And even today, if you visit that street, you'll probably see the same woman, looking the same, with the same age. Now tell me, what do you think is really happening? And if you want me to bring part 2 with new theories and similar cases, comment down below. I want part 2.